Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So I'm sure all of you know by now that my favorite types of fragrances are vanillas. What could be better than a vanilla fragrance? Nothing, in my opinion. However, typically when I think about vanillas, I think about cold weather, like fall and winter. But I think there are some vanillas that will be perfectly suitable for summer weather as well. And these are the types of fragrances that I'm going to share with you today. And let's start with a beautiful iris scent, and that is Iris Dragae. I haven't pulled this beauty out in a while, but I typically gravitate towards it in the summer, spring or summer. So what is this fragrance about in addition to iris? Well, we also have almond in here. There is sugar, there is orange blossom, there is of course vanilla, musk, and some other notes. And to me, this is a really sweet iris, almost like candied iris, you know, iris that has a lot of sugar and vanilla added in. It makes it absolutely beautiful and kind of delicious at the same time as well. Of course, it has a bit of powderiness, as you would expect to have with iris, but I feel like that's not really the main sort of component of this fragrance. It's more that there is a lot of sweetness, kind of vanilla candy type of sweetness added to this iris. But at the same time, despite it having all of this sweetness, it is not overpowering at all. The scent remains light and airy and very fluid. So I think it works perfectly for the summer weather. Next, let's talk about a newer fragrance in my collection, and that is Messy Sexy Just Rolled Out of Bed from Lab on Fire. Now, I talked about this scent in my video about, kind of failed blind buys, although I mentioned that this wasn't a total fail. I just really wasn't sure about the two fragrances that I purchased from this house. And to be honest, I am still not 100% sure, but nevertheless, I think this scent is quite beautiful, quite interesting, and kind of unique at the same time. So, of course, it has vanilla. We are talking about vanillas today, right? But what else does it have? There's also peach blossom. There's heliotrope. There are some floral notes. There's also tonka bean. There are woody notes, amber, etc. And this is a really interesting combination of kind of fruity, sweet, and slightly floral. You know, this peach blossom, it gives really interesting edge to this scent. It's kind of sweet, it's a little bit floral, it also has fruity nuances, like almost slightly sour fruity nuances, and mixed together with all the sweet notes like tonka and vanilla. And what else is in here? Toffee. Okay, so there are a lot of sweet elements. It doesn't make it overpowering, doesn't make it too much, you know, that kind of fresh and slightly sour and slightly floral vibe that's coming from this peach blossom and perhaps a few other notes that are in here. It kind of tones down the heavy sweet notes, and so it still remains sweet and very much vanillic, but at the same time it is fresh enough to be used in warm and hot weather. You know, right now when I'm smelling it out of the bottle, it smells so pretty. It smells so pretty. I'm gonna test it out again. You know, I need to play with this fragrance a little bit more to really kind of understand it and figure out my final thoughts about it. But it's a really pretty scent, that's for sure. Next, let's talk about a fragrance that I just shared with you in the latest haul. That is Panettone from Milano Fragranza. What a stunning gourmand vanilla type of scent that's not too overpowering. So, you know, when I purchased this fragrance, I had no idea what Panettone actually meant, you know? And when I first smelled it, I really got this vision in my head that it really smelled like some kind of, you know, sweet bread that I had as a child that had some raisins and maybe dried fruits in it, whatever. It was really like fluffy and soft and sweet. And later on, I thought, let me look it up. What does it actually mean? So it turns out, Panettone is an Italian sweet bread. So that's exactly what it is. And this is the picture that I got when I smelled this. I mean, it's sweet, it's delicious, but it definitely has that undertone of like raisins or dried fruits, or definitely some like dried maybe oranges added in, which really adds some freshness to this. So, you might think dried fruits, raisins will add more kind of depth and more sweetness and make this scent more dense, but it has just the opposite effect. Perhaps it's the oranges. I think there are bitter oranges in here as well, that create that effect of being quite fresh and not very dense and not very heavy. This really smells like some kind of sweet bread. It's so delicious. It's so beautiful. And I think in the warm weather, it smells actually even better than in the cold weather. Like the sweetness is kind of amplified without being too heavy. So for me, this is a definite winner, and I am totally going to wear it this summer. Next, let's talk about a Xerjoff fragrance, and here I selected Vi Cavour I. This is a really nice, sweet, fruity, slightly chocolatey, perhaps even slightly oudy scent, although don't really detect a lot of oud in here. Is there actually oud? Okay, yeah, there is actually oud, but it's almost unnoticeable. But this is about quince and about white peach and about chocolate, and of course there is vanilla and some woody notes and probably musk and possibly amber as well. So this is a really fruity, sweet scent. Although there is chocolate in here, I can't really say that I get chocolate per se. Like, it's so fleeting, the chocolate, but there is definitely some sweetness in there. But again, it's balanced beautifully by these fruits, the quince and peach, and I almost feel like they're in equal parts here. Like, I do get a little bit of peach, I do get a little bit of quince. One doesn't sort of overshadow the other one, so it's a beautiful combination overall. Perfect for the summer. I think I've always said that about this fragrance ever since I got it, that this would be a perfect, kind of sweet, fruity type of scent for the summer, because again, it's not very heavy at all. So again, this is Vi Cavour I from Xerjoff. Well, since we started talking about Xerjoff, let's right away go to another scent from this house, and it is Dama Bianca, a fragrance that joined my collection for the second time very recently, and I'm really thrilled that it is back. It is definitely staying. This is, in my mind, is one of the best perfect vanillas for summer. It's again slightly fruity, slightly powdery vanilla. So there is kumquat in here, there is vanilla, there are a lot of notes. There is lime, what else? There are some floral notes, sandalwood, musk, whatever. But to me, overall, it's a powdery, slightly fruity vanilla. That's how it feels to me. And again, this scent is not very loud. It's one of the quieter Xerjoff scents. Doesn't mean that it doesn't last well, because I think it lasts pretty well, but it is just a quieter scent, which is, I think, kind of what we look for in a warm and hot weather. We can't wear those like extremely sweet, extremely heavy beasts, and this one is perfect for that. Yeah, beautiful fruity, powdery vanilla. Beautiful. Next one on the list is chocolate from Fuegia. This is, again, amazing scent for any time of the year, but I think in the summer it's perfect. If you want something a little bit chocolatey, a little bit vanillic, but nothing too heavy, nothing too sweet, this is the one to choose. I mean, it does have vanilla. I think there's a vanilla orchid in here. There is cacao, and I think there is rum in here as well. And you know, I talked before how this is chocolate. It doesn't exactly smell like chocolate, like it almost leans more towards cacao. It's definitely barely sweet. Like, honestly, sweetness is very minimal in my opinion. It is just a little bit boozy, very lightly. Again, that element is not amplified, and then you have that kind of natural green, grassy, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, vibe going through it, which also brings kind of a bit of freshness and lightness to the scent. So yeah, this is a great one. If you're looking for something chocolatey in the summer, I would definitely go for this one. Of course, I also had to include here La Belle from Jean Paul Gaultier, and I went with the original La Belle because I think this is definitely more suited for warm weather. So vanilla, pear, vetiver. Yeah, I know we have more notes listed now, but to me still, these are kind of the main notes. This is what I get out of it. Really sweet, delicious, juicy pear, amplified even more by the additional vanilla, but then kind of made a little bit lighter and a little bit airier by the addition of vetiver. It's stunning. You know, my love for this fragrance is still going strong, like completely strong. I am not tired of it. I still love it. Use both this one and the Le Parfum interchangeably, although like I said, I think the original one is a little bit better in the warmer weather, whereas the Le Parfum, because it is a little bit denser and stronger, I think is better for slightly colder weather. But you know, wear whatever you want whenever you want. I always say that, but for the sake of this video, I chose the original one. Next on the list, I have a couple of absolutely amazing vanillas. Of course, I had to include kind of the queen of vanillas, especially summer vanillas, I think, which is the beautiful Ani. Again, I've had this fragrance for a really long time, have spoken about it numerous times, and my love for it hasn't dampened. In fact, I find that if I go through some periods where, you know, maybe I don't wear it for a month or two and then I come back to it, I am enjoying it more and more. So this type of vanilla, although perfect for any time of the year, but I think it is especially beautiful in the summer because you have such a burst of this freshness and maybe a little bit of spiciness in the opening, coming from ginger and coming from bergamot, and then it starts developing into creamy, smooth, buttery, sweet vanilla. But again, vanilla never crosses that too sweet barrier. You know, it never becomes cloying, it never becomes overpowering, it never becomes too much. And I think it's because we have these fresh elements in this fragrance. So beautiful vanilla, beautiful, creamy, smooth, with a bit of zing, you know, with some freshness. It's just stunning. What can I say? Ani is stunning. And another pretty amazing vanilla, in my opinion, is Vanita Tahiti from Paris, Monte Carlo. This one I would classify as a tropical vanilla. That's what it smells like to me. And I've worn it during winter. I've worn it a ton, especially when I was going to the office. And you know what? I think it is still perfectly appropriate to wear right now in the warm weather. In fact, when I'm smelling it now, and I've tried it a few times already when it, you know, warmed up, this scent becomes even creamier, even, I almost want to say milkier, although it is not lactonic in any way, but it is so creamy that it is almost milky, and it is so smooth, and it is so sweet and delicious. But because there are flowers in here, that makes me think of the summer. So what's in here? Yeah, there are champaca and ylang ylang. So to me, you know, I consider these tropical flowers, vanilla, of course, sandalwood, amber, and musk. So, you know, pretty straightforward notes, but oh, delicious, absolutely delicious. Right now in the warm weather, it almost, you know, the vanilla almost takes me to some kind of ice cream level. You know, it almost makes me think of vanilla ice cream. That's what I was trying to say earlier, that it is just so creamy that it is almost milky. And then I realized, yeah, it reminds me of ice cream. It's almost like vanilla ice cream with some tropical flowers. It is so, so beautiful. Not many people talk about this scent, and I think it's a shame. I really think it's a shame. I would definitely recommend sampling this one and giving it a try. And so now we're left with one more, and this one is kind of a fruity vanilla scent. It is Soleil or Zenith from Prada. I hate how you can see all the fingerprints on the front of this bottle. I always try to clean them off and it never works. Let's try it again. I don't think I really succeeded. Anyways, this is kind of slightly tropical as well, slightly fruity, slightly vanillic. So there is peach in here, there's ylang ylang, vanilla of course, there's cinnamon, sandalwood, nutmeg. So it is spicy. Spices are very evident in here. And it really smells like some kind of a spicy peach, like you, I don't know, cut up a peach and really put some nutmeg and cinnamon on top of it. And then you have ylang ylang that you can really smell. And then you add a little bit of vanilla to add to the sweetness of this fragrance. This one, I would say, is quite dense. This fragrance is very dense to me. So I probably would not wear it in like scorching heat, but if it's sort of a warm, but kind of a little bit mellow, maybe with a slight wind, then I think this fragrance would work perfectly. So there you go. These are my summer vanillas. Yes, just because it is warm outside doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop wearing vanillas. So please let me know, do you enjoy any vanilla scents in the summer and what are your favorites? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.